All right, so we're doing part 3 of the Kenneth Arnold UFO sighting. I just got done. I did parts 1 and 2 earlier, and we'll try to finish off with part 3. But I also wanted to do a video on like the Kenneth Arnold UFO sketches. Is that I'll do a separate video on that. So that should be interesting too. Um, So we'll start here. Military investigation of the Arnold story. Of course, 1947, this is the flying disc craze year. This started it. This is the year that started it. Kenneth Arnold UFO sighting is just one of many. You got the Roswell incident. You got the Rhodes photos. You got the flight. It's let's see, Flight 105 UFO sighting, like, and all of that. But this is one of the top sightings of that year too. The first investigation of Arnold's claims came from Lieutenant Frank Brown and Captain William Davidson of Hamilton Field in California, who interviewed Arnold on July 12th. Arnold also submitted a written report at that time. Regarding the reliability of Arnold's sighting, they concluded, "It is the present opinion of the interviewer that Mr. Arnold actually saw what he stated he saw. It is difficult to believe that a man of his character and apparent integrity would state that he saw objects and write up a report to the extent that he did if he did not see them." So that's the first military investigation of Arnold's claims. Others were less impressed. All right, I'm back here. Let's see here. Others were less impressed. First Lieutenant Hall Eustis of the Army Air Corps, in a declassified July 1947 intelligence report, said that Arnold seems to be reasonably well balanced, although excitable, describing Arnold's report as a case of silly season episodes. Okay. The Army Air Force's formal public conclusion was that the objects of this sighting were due to a mirage. Now, how would they come to a conclusion of that? On July 9th, Army Air Force Intelligence, with help from the FBI, secretly began an investigation on the best sightings, mostly from pilots and military personnel. Arnold's sighting, as well as that of the United Airlines crew, which I want to do a video on like very soon, were included in the list of best sightings. 3 weeks later, they came to the conclusion that the saucer reports were not imaginary or adequately explained by natural phenomenon. Something real was flying around. Oh. Okay. Well, okay. This laid the groundwork for another intelligence estimate in September of 1947 by General Nathan Twining, commanding officer of the Air Material Command, which likewise concluded the saucers were real and urged a formal investigation by multiple government agencies. This in turn resulted in the formation of Project Sign at the end of 1947, the first publicly acknowledged USAF UFO investigation. Project Sign eventually evolved into Project Grudge, and then the better known Project Blue Book. Right. The personnel of the U.S. Air Force's Project Sign also later studied Arnold's story. According to Major Edward Ruppelt, I found that there was a lot of speculation on this report amongst Sign personnel. Two factions joined up behind two lines of reasoning. One side said that Arnold had seen plain, everyday jet airplanes flying in formation. The other side didn't buy this idea at all. They based their argument on the fact that Arnold knew where the objects were when he timed them. There was an old theory that maybe Arnold had seen wind whipping snow along the mountain ridges, so I asked Air Force investigators about this. I got a flat impossible. Okay. Okay. In a story published in the Minneapolis Star 2 days after the sighting, officials at McChord Army Airfield, about 75 air miles from the midpoint of the peaks of Mount Rainier and Mount Adams, theorized that the only planes coming near the description are the fast P-80s. The officials at McChord added that Marshfield, California, was the closest airfield with P-80s based on it. Marshfield was about 600 air miles, or about an hour's journey in a P-80 from the midpoint of the peaks of Mount Rainier and Mount Adams. The commander of the White Sands Proving Ground in New Mexico, Lieutenant Colonel Harry Turner, also told reporters that Arnold's sighting was consistent with the appearance of jet airplanes. When police officers and others in Portland, Oregon reported flying discs on the 4th of July, Army officials responded by pointing out that 24 P-80 fighters and 6 bombers flew over the city about the time the discs were reported. Huh? Yeah, but you can tell the difference between a jet plane and a flying disc. Stuart Campbell has said that the objects Arnold reported could have been mirages of several snow-capped peaks in the Cascade Range. Campbell's calculation of the object's speed determined that they were traveling at roughly the same speed as Arnold's plane, indicating that the objects were in fact stationary. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Mirages could have been caused by temperature inversions over several deep valleys in the line of sight. Okay, so problem I have with that is there's multiple sightings of this. It's not just Kenneth Arnold seeing this. That's the major problem I have. He's one witness. There's other witnesses to this. It's not just him. And in different areas. Like, it's not like the same exact area people were seeing this. Philip Klass cited an article by K. Davidson of the San Francisco Examiner in arguing that Arnold might have misidentified meteors on June 24th, 1947. Probably not. James Easton was the one of several skeptics to suggest that Arnold may have misidentified pelicans. The birds live in the Washington region, are rather large, have a pale underside that can reflect light, can fly at rather high altitudes, and can appear to have a somewhat crescent-shaped profile when flying. Yeah, I don't know about that. And I won't go over this last part, I don't think. But, well, I guess we can. Donald Menzel was a Harvard astronomer and one of the earliest UFO debunkers, or you could also say just critics, because how um, over the years he offered several possible explanations for um, Arnold's 1947 UFO sighting. He suggested that Arnold saw clouds of snow blown from the mountains. Then he said he saw like orographic clouds or wave clouds, and then later on he said he saw maybe spots of water on his airplane's windows. Now that's the worst. That's the worst explanation. I mean, he would know if he saw spots of water on his frickin' windows. That's the worst explanation. Well, anyway, that ends the videos here, but I will do some more related to the Kenneth Arnold sighting. I do want to go over the sketches, like the pictures. That'll be really interesting. And um, and then like these related reports too that happened around the same time. That'll be interesting to do as well. So as always, let me know your thoughts and comments about the Kenneth Arnold UFO sighting below. It's a pretty good one, and I'll be back with more here soon.